me pause my podcast. Okay, so I am on the top of Mount Vic. I've been doing this walk nearly like every day since the start of lockdown. It's been like my favorite little burner kind of thing. It's getting easier as I go. But just wanted to say I'm working through something right now, as you know that I'm like worried about what other people think and everything, and just like afraid of judgment of other people. And so I'm working through that right now, where there's people looking at me, but I really don't care. I have this fear that people are gonna judge me because I'm filming myself in public, and maybe that feels weird for some people, but see, last night I walked up here at sunset and there's these people like having a full-on photo shoot up here, and I'm like, damn, the confidence it takes at like peak hour on Mount Vic to be able to, excuse me, just like film yourself or like take pictures is absolutely incredible. So I'm living into that. There's someone right now staring at me, but I don't give a fuck because I'm not gonna see them ever again. I mean, Devonport in New Zealand is like a really small town or small country anyway, so I probably will, but that's besides the point. At this point, I'm just going to say, fuck it. it doesn't matter. That's why I was dancing. So I was walking up here, just living into that like childlike wonder, because the more and more I'm on this path to like healing and breaking through these like binds of, you know, societal pressures, or just like trying to be normal and fit in, those are like exhausting. So I'm just like breaking that down. And the more and more I step into this childlike wonder and kind of get that excitement of, oh my God, people are judging me, which one, they probably aren't even looking at me. Two, I'm probably, if they are, probably like, oh my God, look at that girl, it's so weird. And then I'm not a thought in their brain for like the rest of their lives. So like, why am I so concerned about other people judging me? It's ridiculous. So working through that right now. And what was I saying? Oh, the more and more and more I step into this healing practice, the more and more I realize that we're just wounded children, literally just like living in adult skin. And we are faced with all these triggers that we don't even know are triggers. And that's bringing up like past, you know, traumas. And when I say traumas, I mean, we have this stigma for traumas that like they have to be something really, really intense, like sexual abuse or just emotional abuse, whatever. Or trauma can literally be like one time in your childhood you felt like you weren't heard or seen, or your reality was completely denied. Like, I know that I've never opened up about this on this channel, but the childhood trauma that I'm kind of working through right now is, I don't know if my mom's okay with me saying this. I grew up with an alcoholic mom. She's recovered now, which we're so grateful for. And I now know that like my archetype, there's like 7 different types of like childhood archetypes, and my archetype was like the overachiever, where like I was trying to make everything like perfect so then I could take the stress off of my dad. So like I would get the perfect grades, excel in all my sports. I remember making him croissants in the morning, like waking up early before school so I can put croissants in the oven for him, making coffee and everything, so when he gets home from the fire station, like he has a little bit of time to like relax or just feel like someone's thinking of him, because I could feel the stress coming off of him. And you know, at a time when my mom was denying my reality, when I would like find a, we're getting really deep right now, I would find a bottle of alcohol like hidden in anywhere in the house. Like one that really stung was in my toy chest when I was little, and I confronted her about it and was like, what's this? And then she completely denied my reality of like, oh no, that's old, or that's not mine, or whatever. And being like, what, like 8 at the time, I wanted to believe my mom, and so I was like, okay, well, I'm just imagining things or whatever. Or when she was drunk and I could tell that she was drunk, and I would ask her, you know, have you been drinking? And then she would say no. So that's just denying my reality, and I'm working through that right now. I'm walking away because someone's walking up to me, and I know that that's going against everything that I was saying, but I'm talking about some deep shit here. Even though I'm putting this on the internet, obviously it feels a little bit better talking to a camera than someone listening to me. But anyways, I don't know if I'm gonna put that in there, and I feel like my heart's racing as I talk about it because I've been so silent or just quiet about it for so long. But anyways, long story short, we're all wounded children working through this together in adult skin, and I'm just really leaning into that and observing everything that comes up for me, and why I'm so sensitive to feeling gaslit, because I was gaslit when I was little, even though it wasn't the intent of my mom. Like, she was really sick, and I completely understand that. Now noticing the patterns of how I become so reactive when I feel like I'm not being heard or seen, or my reality is being questioned. So anyways, I love you. Hello, I've decided to go amongst the trees because I feel like I needed to say something too. So I've been talking about, you know, my mom being an alcoholic, and I understand now. I guess I just wanted to preface that, like, I have never held resentment towards her. Sorry, someone was walking by and I didn't think that they wanted to hear about my childhood trauma on their morning walk with their dog. But my mom has done so much work to heal herself and to work through this, and I think that I had never been ready to talk about this until I actually dove into how much emotion I was suppressing. And even when I was going to therapy consistently, I only talked about my mom like once or twice. And I remember right before I left for New Zealand this Christmas, she opened the floor up for me and my brother to talk about everything, even though I could feel and see that it would tear her apart inside. And she even said, like, if I cry, like, I don't want you to stop from telling me, which is so noble of her. And I'm just so grateful that she has done so much work, and now she's a marriage and family therapist with an emphasis in drug and alcohol counseling. And I really truly believe that she had to go through the experience of becoming an alcoholic, I guess, firsthand in order to be the most incredible, empathetic therapist, compassionate out there. And she is. Like, her clients love her. And also just wanted to give her a huge, massive round of applause for working through generational trauma as well, because I know that there is a pattern of alcohol abuse on both sides of my family, definitely on both sides of my family. One, I'm really happy that my dad didn't go down the route his mom did, which was just, you know, alcoholism. And my mom's dad, so my grandpa, was like definitely a high functioning alcoholic, and I'm sure that that continued, you know, on and on and on. And my mom even said that, like, her parents never even talked about feelings at all. And so I'm so grateful that my mom and my dad chose to break their generational trauma and rewrite their own path, and was able to give my brother and me an incredible amount of love and space to be able to share. And I thank them so much, because they've created me how I am. And I really truly believe that that is, like, you know, nature versus nurture. I believe that everyone is inherently good. That could be debatable, but I really do. And I think that the way we become is our environment and how we grow up. Not necessarily saying that, like, it's like a scapegoat theory that you grow up in poverty or in an abusive home and then you're gonna become that, like it's gonna continue. No, not at all. Like, my parents are an excellent example of this. My dad grew up in a really rough home environment, and he has provided such an incredible life for me and my brother, and has broken the, you know, scapegoat theory where he was always told that he's gonna end up in jail or he's gonna be dead or whatever, like he's gonna be up to no good. And he broke that. He knew that something inside of him was better than that, and he, you know, took his own path despite his environment just like completely trying to hold him down because they were afraid of their own potential. With my mom, like completely breaking through this generational trauma of keeping alcoholism within, you know, a lineage. And I'm so beyond grateful of that. And now I'm working through this generational trauma as well of, you know, talking about feelings and everything. And yeah, I don't know, I think that generational trauma is insane, and it's so evident now for me while I'm healing. And yeah, I just wanted to preface that, like, my parents and I have an incredible relationship, probably stronger than it has ever been since my mom started healing when I was like just starting to get into high school, ending out of middle school. So during those years when she was abusing alcohol, they were some of my most transformative years. I mean, from childhood on to early adolescence, like, my God. It was hard to navigate through that when I didn't really have a mom present, but you know, it's made me to the person that I am, and I couldn't really experience anything more. I'm really grateful for my past because it's made me who I am today and has allowed me to work through this and just find a better, you know, compassion lens, I guess. I don't know. That's me, but just wanted to say that I love my parents and they have done amazing work themselves, and this healing path is not easy, and I'm just so grateful that I have their support through everything. Anyways, let's continue our walk.
Hello. Hello. Hi.
she wrote, thank you so much for joining me on that nourishing and healing morning routine. I've only been doing it for the past like 3 or 4 days, but I can definitely feel a shift happening in just my overall wellness and mental clarity. And I know that we got really, really deep during the walk. I hope it resonated with any of you. Just a friendly reminder that anything you feel or think is completely validated, and that is your reality, and no one can take that away from you. I hear you, I love you, and I see you, and I hope I can see you next time. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for making it through this entire video. The rest of the day, I'm just going to be doing a little bit more work for Lululemon because we're prepping to get back into store really soon, and then I have to do some immigration stuff for staying in the country. So lots of stuff to get through, but at least I'm prepared. And I have now realized that I need to start waking up like way early, like maybe even into like the 5 o'clock range, because my morning routine is so long. Like it's literally like 2.5 to like 3 hours long, which seems ridiculous. And I built this thing up in my head that in the morning I wanted to be low maintenance and for my morning routine to take like 2 seconds because I wanted to be that easy breezy girl or whatever. But shifting that mindset into doing things that are really nourishing for not only my mental clarity but my soul as well is definitely necessary, and just sets me up for just success for the rest of the day and the week. So definitely gonna need to wake up early once we get back into work and everything, but feeling really, really grateful for this time in lockdown to totally focus on what feels right and what works well for me, so I can then evolve this into a more sustainable routine for when I'm back working and everything. So the freedom of doing online work is definitely something that I want to carry on throughout the rest of the day. So I'm gonna keep creating, keep seeing what happens. But anyways, yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next time. Happy Monday.